Hey everybody, welcome back to Days Well Spent. This time I want to talk about our water delivery system that we've installed here on the Days Well Spent farm homestead. It's been an evolutionary process from when we started this whole trip, I guess you could say, on our land, trying to figure out how to farm it because we are in a different region than we were before. The climate's different here. The heat of the sun is a lot stronger. The soil is different, and water is expensive out here if you have to buy it. So we started out, as you can see, we've got a windmill now, but originally, if you look down at the base at the well, we had a submersible pump, and it hadn't been used in over 10 years, and I was able to get to work. But it was a 220 volt pump, so we were drawing a lot of energy just to pull the water up. And at that time, that's all we had, literally. So we would just hook a hose to it right here at the well, turn it on, and the pump would run continuously until we turned the water off that we were using. So we eventually moved to the tank here, the storage tank. The gray one was on our property. It was just laid down on the back of the fence line. So we originally flipped it up like it is now, but it was over the well head, and we would it protected the submersible pump, but we still didn't have a way to store the water. So for such a long time, we just didn't know what to do, to be quite honest with you. Then I got the bright idea of, let's put a windmill up. Out here, we have wind. We have more wind than you could probably want. So we can run the windmill all day without any issue at all. And then of course, we had to have the storage tank. So what we did was we got a company to install the windmill for us, and it was going to be 3 weeks out. It is an 82-year-old windmill now that was refurbished. The entire motor system at the top was 100% refurbished, and they came out and installed the whole thing for us and made it work completely. But the storage tank, I built a stand for it. It's an 1,100 gallon, and they hooked it up to the storage tank to store the water. So now we have a backup of 1,100 gallons all the time that we draw the water from. That was a huge improvement on what we had before, which literally was the pump was pumping the water to where we needed it, and that was it. There was no storage whatsoever. So before they put the windmill up, I moved the tank, which is our well house now, and we wanted something strong. That's why we came up with the idea of using that, because the wind out here and the expense of just even a small building is like $1,000, and this was free. So then what we did was, after we got the windmill up and the tank, and I did this, of course, during this whole process, it was a 1 week thing. We dug into the ground right here. It goes down and it goes trenches over here, and then it goes into the side of the well house. All this we did ourselves. We cut the door into the tank, and then it comes back up here and it goes into our pump, and then we've got our pressure tank that pushes it out to all of our sites. The pressure tank's too small. It was here on the property. It still worked, so we haven't upgraded that yet. We're going to do that probably next spring if this one makes it. We need a bigger pressure tank for the water we're pushing. But then we also changed our pump to a 110 volt pump, and you can see the electrical there that goes back to a dedicated meter, and I trenched 2 feet down and took that back to the meter. So we're using less electricity to pump the water out to where we need it than we were before, and we now have water storage that we didn't have before as well. And now we're drawing the water up from under the ground just with wind, and that's real nice that we're not using energy that we have to pay for in that regard. The other thing that we did was we wanted to eliminate electrical use for the water as much as possible. So obviously the windmill is perfect for that. And we wanted a windmill because it's the nostalgic look. And, you know, we did get an 80-year-old windmill at the time we got it, 81 and a half. But we thought about solar. I didn't want to get into the electronics of solar, though. I like the mechanical, you know, drawing of water with the windmill. They've been used for over 120 years in America. That's a track record that is really unbeatable. Solar hasn't been around that long. And like I said, solar is electric. You got a lot of components that can go bad with you know, the inverter panels and stuff like that. With that, we also get hail out here. So I mean, if I got solar panels out here and they're getting damaged by hail, now I've got to replace solar panels. We don't have that issue with the windmill. And the windmill just says farm. I mean, all the way around. It says agriculture and farm. It's just a beautiful thing to look at. So once the water is pumped into the tank, one of the things that I wanted to do was we're going to do a video later on how we deliver water to the areas that we use water. Is how do we, you know, we got the jet pump that pushes water out to the areas that we need water, where we're gardening or potting plants or growing cover crops or whatever. But the other thing that I did was I built this direct flush out here to go into this little tank that we hooked to our lawnmower, and I can direct feed into it. And I can fill that tank in about 10 seconds and take it out to where we use water in a different way. And what I like about that is I'm not using any energy to get the water into the tank at that point either. So the whole idea here is to eliminate electrical energy that we have to pay for in every way that we can, as much as possible. That video was just about how we draw water from our well, how we store it, and the two different ways that we get water out to where we're going to use the water. So if you're not a subscriber, we really encourage you to hit the subscribe button, and then also be sure and visit our website at dayswellspent.com.